Welcome to Gameface on FLSportsFan.com. In this Thanksgiving week edition, we're grateful for football nearly every day of the week. Most notably, we're going to discuss the UF-FSU football game, the much-awaited one at the Swamp with our good friend, Gary Fineout, the sports addict. It's the game of the year with an asterisk now, Gary.
With a big asterisk. Well, I think FSU is sort of like the turkey that's going to be on the table on Thanksgiving Day. They're going to get carved up pretty badly in this game. FSU's defense continues to be very unimpressive, so I imagine that Florida will score at will and often.
And they're going to score a lot, but is there any shot at all that FSU will make the game competitive in the second half?
Yeah, not in the second half. I mean, I think that's been the trademark of FSU all year long, is the defense has played very well usually in the first half, and then in the second half, whoever they play seems to just come out and rack up 300 yards of offense and 3 scores and what have you, and every game goes down to the wire. I mean, but it's not going to happen this week because, frankly, the Gators' defense are going to be way too strong.
Way too strong.
Right.
All right, so here we go, where FSU will come out of this game, if conventional wisdom holds, 6-6 and bowl eligible, though the bowl is not going to be one of those big branded name bowls.
Yeah, no. I guess the speculation is the Meineke Car Care Bowl or the Emerald Bowl. I mean, it's going to be a low tier bowl.
Hey, that's all about the nuts, isn't it?
Yeah,
the Emerald one,
right?
Yeah.
I mean, it's going to be one of the lower tier bowls, the ones that are usually played between Christmas and New Year's. And
But the Gators, this is the vault up to the awaited rematch with Alabama in the SEC championship game. Against, what do you call the coach of Alabama again?
Nick Saban.
Nick Saban.
There you go. Always Nick Saban.
Well deserved. He left the Dolphins in the lurch, and they're better for it.
And yes, and the Dolphins fans will never forgive him for that.
So Tebow, a Heisman contender, probably going to have a very good performance in this game.
Yeah, he'll be able to rack up some serious stats. I don't think he's going to win the Heisman. I think that there's too many other players. Some may legit, some not legit. I mean, I think the best player who should win the Heisman is C.J. Spiller.
Not going to happen.
But probably Colt McCoy, you would think at this point in time.
It's his turn. It's kind of his turn.
Yeah, quote, his turn.
Okay, so the Gators expected to win, go on to the SEC championship game. That will be a thriller. Let's go back to the University of Miami, South Florida. USF versus Miami.
I'm actually looking forward to this game because I don't know who's going to win. I mean, Miami, just like FSU in some instances, their defense has been very spotty at times, and games that you thought that they should have had the wherewithal to put teams away, they haven't been able to do it.
Yeah, but that Jack Corey Harris is really a gamer. This kid, he makes some mistakes. He's still young in his infancy as a quarterback, but boy, he has carried that team on his back for comeback victories 2 times in recent weeks.
But that's what I think is going to be fascinating about this game is we have 2 young, very good quarterbacks. We have B.J. Daniels with USF. We have Harris with Miami. I think it's going to be a very a fun game, an exciting game, and probably
offensive.
A lot more watchable than the other game.
Very offensive, I think.
Yes.
Let's go to the pro ranks, where the Dolphins are a surprising 5-5. 5-5 feels pretty good after an 0-3 start. They won their last 2. Chad Henne's really developing as a quarterback. They've got 3 games in a row on the road. If they came out with 2 victories, that would be a big deal.
That would be impressive. I have to tell you, though, just the loss of Ronnie Brown is so big that I just think, I think Ricky Williams had a brilliant performance against Carolina. I'm just not sure if they're going to be able to sustain that.
Yeah, but I think Buffalo can be a doormat for us. We can come out of that game 6-5. Then the tough New England game followed by a tough Jacksonville game. I think they can win 2 of the 3, and wouldn't it be something if they stuck it to the Pats again?
It would be, and that is the game to be worried about, and to be in terms of and deciding their fortune, because basically the Patriots already have I believe a 2-game lead in this division, a 3-game lead. That's going to cause problems for them trying to catch them. So their only hope is a wild card. So they need to win as many games as they can.
They do, but if they beat the Patriots, that vaults them forward. Let's talk about the Jaguars, who after a very disappointing first half of the season now stand at 6-4. They're in contention.
They've been riding Maurice Jones-Drew mojo all the way. And he's been blowing up. He's one of the best backs in the league this year.
And the quarterback is really having a terrific season.
David Garrett is having a solid year. I think what has helped them, here's what's helped them, is They've developed some young receivers who've been able to step up to the plate. They signed Torrey Holt, big acquisition offseason.
Right.
Holt has not been as productive as they thought of him. Instead, we got people like Mike Sims Walker, second-year pro.
Aren't they helped also, Gary, by kind of a weak schedule? They've had some real...
To some extent. But see, this is their biggest problem. Their problem is they're in the division with Indianapolis. They ain't catching them. And so they have to hope that they can play their way into wild card contention. And right now, that's a real crowded field in the AFC.
Well, let's spend a moment talking about the Tampa Bay Bucks. Hold on. Okay, and moving on. Gary, it's Thanksgiving week. You got anything you want to be grateful for this football season?
I'm grateful for the fact that, once again, even though some teams aren't having as great a season as we would have liked, once again, Florida football, outstanding. Not one, not two, not three, but 4 teams doing well. And even UCF has had a couple of surprises this year, so it's another great season of Florida football.
And while we always have somebody or something we can toss the penalty flag out, we're going to hold it in abeyance this Thanksgiving week as a gesture of gratitude that football is a great time of year.
Absolutely.
Hope your Thanksgiving is a great one. Hope all your teams won. Go Gators. Chomp, chomp, chomp. And go to flsportsfan.com for updates on all your favorite pro and college teams in Florida. We'll see you with the Sports Addict next time on Gameface.